So I've had a few back and forth comments with some INFJs here as an ISFJ. And one thing I've noticed is that if one were to reply to one of my videos with a general statement, and if I ask how one came to a general statement, that person will give me another general statement or 50 million general statements. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it's kind of fun to zip through a bunch of ideas in your head, but when it comes to communicating that to anyone else, it will not be as effective. It might make perfect sense for the INFJ, but to us bumbo dumbos, we can't just look at a piece of broccoli and a random ass sea anemone and think to ourselves, oh, so this INFJ loves to practice alchemy in the forest and we're having a great time. No, I can't. What? Or put it this way, figuring out an INFJ's central idea is like trying to plug in your phone charger into the wall socket in the dark. And as an ISFJ whose thought process is technically in reverse, I figured I'd let you in on the bare basics of understanding SI. It makes things a lot easier considering that we both have the supporting function introverted thinking, so that all I have to focus on is the scope of perception here. So anyways, the first thing that you want to do is get a notebook, okay? They sell for like a couple dollars over at freaking Walgreens or whatever. Next, you want to go home and then wait. Where's my intro? Okay, thank you. Next, you want to go home and write down how your day went. And my guess is that by the time you finish, you will have a bare minimum of like 5 million tangents. And that's okay. You want to read it all back and then pick one tangent with the intent to figure out where the hell this tangent came from. Now, very important here. It's not enough to answer that with a general statement about society or the universe or your thoughts on the human condition. That is still too broad of a scope. I'm talking about narrowing it all down to one specific point in your life, or put it this way, the origin story of that tangent in your head. Moving from the vast blue sky to the crystal grain of sand, if you will. You would know that you are using SI if what you write about can be written about in an unbroken chain of logic and reason from one point to another. If it feels like you are reading through a good novella. For another example, let's look back at my last video about cognitive functions. Notice how I go from point to point where each point overlaps with the previous one. And notice how my ideas gradually expand in scope as I incorporate more things to talk about. You want to do this in reverse. Actually, yeah, that's that. I think that's pretty much it. Is this going to be difficult? Absolutely. But you'll figure it out as you go along. I trust that you can figure it out. I trust that you'll find your own way to figure this out. And I think that's it. All right. Have a great day.